Remember that feeling, that electric anticipation as you approached the glowing entrance? The promise of adventure and high scores hanging in the air? You'd push open the heavy arcade door, the hinges groaning in protest, as if guarding the secrets within, and be immediately hit by a wall of sound, a chaotic symphony of electronic noise, a cacophony of beeps, blips, and digitized explosions, all vying for your attention. It was overwhelming, exhilarating, and utterly unique. The deep thump of a fighting game, two players locked in Mortal Kombat, hammering buttons and mashing joysticks. The insistent waka waka of Pac-Man, forever chased by those relentless ghosts through a neon maze. The urgent pew-pew of Space Invaders, a desperate defense against the pixelated alien horde descending from the heavens. It was sensory overload in the best way, a vibrant assault on the senses that somehow managed to be both chaotic and comforting. Your eyes slowly adjusted to the darkness, a welcome respite from the bright sunlight outside, broken only by the flashing, flickering lights of 100 screens, each one a beacon in the dimly lit space, promising untold adventures. Each screen was a portal to another world, a gateway to fantastical realms and heroic quests. The air was thick with the unmistakable aroma of popcorn, greasy pizza, and warm electronics, the distinct scent of pure, unadulterated fun, a smell that instantly transported you to a place of joy and excitement. You'd clutch a fistful of precious quarters, their cool metal a comforting weight in your palm. Each one a ticket to escape the mundane, a chance to become someone else, somewhere else. The arcade wasn't just a place to play games, it was a social club, a haven for like-minded individuals. A proving ground where skills were tested and reputations were forged, a cathedral of pixels where legends were made. For kids of my generation, it was our clubhouse, our sanctuary, our digital playground. No cell phones to distract us, no social media to compare ourselves to, just the raw, unfiltered experience of the local arcade. You went to see and be seen, to witness the latest high scores and maybe even set one yourself, to challenge rivals, to test your mettle against the best players in town, to marvel at the latest game, the cutting-edge technology that pushed the boundaries of what was possible. Each cabinet was a work of art, a lovingly crafted masterpiece of design and engineering. The joystick felt solid and responsive in your hand, a direct connection to the digital world. The vibrant screen pulling you in, captivating your attention and transporting you to another reality. For a single quarter, you weren't just playing a game, you became the hero, the adventurer, the champion. You were the one destined to save the world, one quarter at a time. Where did this magic start? Where did the allure of interactive entertainment first take hold? Let's journey back to a time before joysticks and pixelated worlds, to uncover the roots of our beloved arcade experience. Long before video games graced our screens, carnivals and boardwalks were teeming with coin-operated machines, the grandfathers of modern gaming. These mechanical marvels offered a brief escape from reality, from enigmatic fortune-tellers dispensing cryptic prophecies, to strength testers challenging your might, and a myriad of other mechanical amusements promising fleeting moments of joy and competition. These ingenious contraptions were the ancestors of the arcade cabinet, the forerunners of the interactive experiences we know and love. They paved the way for a new form of entertainment. It was a simple transaction, pay to play, a brief thrill, a moment of excitement, all for the price of your coin. Each clink of a quarter was a ticket to a world of possibilities. But the real revolution, the spark that ignited the arcade boom, began in the early 70s, a time of technological innovation and boundless creativity. It was then that Nolan Bushnell and Ted Dabney, two visionary engineers, joined forces and founded Atari, a name that would soon become synonymous with video games. In 1972, a simple game called Pong arrived, a game that would change the world of entertainment forever. It was deceptively simple: 2 paddles, a bouncing square mimicking a ball, and a shared goal of outmaneuvering your opponent. And just like that, a world was hooked on the novel experience of controlling something on a screen, of interacting with a digital world in a way never before imagined. The first Pong machine, placed in a local bar, overflowed with quarters, a testament to its instant popularity and addictive gameplay. It sparked a craze, a cultural phenomenon that swept across the nation and beyond. Soon, other companies, sensing the immense potential, jumped in, eager to capitalize on this burgeoning market. The tech was primitive by today's standards, simple lines, basic dots, and synthesized beeps and boops that served as the soundtrack to this digital revolution. Games like Tank, with its top-down perspective and strategic combat, and Gunfight, a Wild West shootout, pushed the boundaries of what was possible, introducing microprocessors and more complex gameplay mechanics that captivated players. These early machines proved, beyond any doubt, that people would eagerly pay for the chance to experience digital thrills, for the chance to immerse themselves in these new interactive worlds. These games could be found in a variety of locations, from the noisy atmosphere of bowling alleys to the family-friendly environment of pizza parlors. They were curiosities, beckoning players with their flashing lights and enticing sounds, waiting to devour your pocket change one quarter at a time. The dedicated video arcade, as we would come to know it, hadn't quite arrived yet. It was still in its nascent stages, but the revolution was undeniably underway, gaining momentum with each passing day, fueled by innovation and the insatiable desire for new forms of entertainment. The groundwork for everything that was to come, for the golden age of arcades and the video game industry as a whole, was firmly set. In the early days, arcade games were novel additions, often tucked away in the corners of bars and laundromats. They were a surprising yet welcome distraction from the mundane. But soon, these humble beginnings couldn't contain the growing phenomenon. The games were becoming too popular, too engaging, too everything. They needed their own temples. And so the dedicated arcade was born, a beacon of flashing lights and electronic sounds. It quickly became the ultimate hangout spot, a place where friendships were forged and rivalries ignited. This was especially true for kids and teens in the late 70s and early 80s, a generation captivated by the digital frontier. It was a neon-lit sanctuary, a vibrant escape from the everyday, a place where kids ruled, where skill and strategy trumped age and authority. The social side was just as important, if not more so, than the games themselves. It was the place you'd meet friends, share stories, and plan your next adventure. You'd pool quarters, strategizing how to make every precious coin count, and meticulously plan your attack on the latest game, sharing tips and tricks with your crew. The high-score screen was the ultimate bragging right, a digital monument to your gaming prowess. Seeing your initials at the top meant instant fame, a legend whispered among the arcade faithful. Crowds gathered around skilled players, mesmerized by their lightning-fast reflexes and uncanny ability to master the machine. They were cheering victories, celebrating every hard-earned point, and groaning at defeats, sharing in the collective agony of a game over screen. The arcade was a living, breathing community, a place where everyone was welcome. It was a place to learn secret tricks, not from online guides, but by watching the masters in action. There was no internet, no YouTube tutorials to consult, just knowledge passed down, player to player, a sacred tradition of arcade culture. It was about collaboration, working together to unlock hidden levels and conquer challenging bosses. It was about competition, pushing yourself to be the best, to dominate the leaderboards. And it was about showing off your skills, demonstrating your mastery of the joystick and buttons. The arcade was a social network made of wood, wires, glowing screens, and the shared pursuit of digital glory. It was more than just games. It was an experience. It was a way of life, a culture, a community. And it brought people together from all walks of life, united by their love of the game, like nothing else could. Then came the superstars, games everyone knew. In 1978, Space Invaders landed from Japan, changing everything with its relentless alien march and digital heartbeat. It was a phenomenon, even causing a quarter shortage in Japan. But the biggest icon arrived in 1980, Pac-Man. A yellow circle with a mouth, Pac-Man was a sensation. Simple to play, tough to master, and appealing to everyone. The ghosts had personalities, the design was genius, and Pac-Man fever swept the world. He became a cultural icon. Songs, cartoons, cereal, t-shirts, proving video game characters could be mascots. Suddenly, games were mainstream, not just for nerds in dark rooms. Donkey Kong introduced Nintendo's future star, Galaga perfected the space shooter, and Miss Pac-Man refined the formula. These weren't just games, they were legends. They gave the industry faces, stories, and a place in pop culture. The arcade became a pillar of entertainment, and everyone wanted in. 1978 to 1983, the golden age of arcade games. Arcades were everywhere, a multi-billion-dollar industry outpacing Hollywood. Technology leapt forward from asteroids vectors to Dig Dug's colorful sprites. New genres exploded, puzzle games like Q*bert, beat-em-ups like Double Dragon, racing games like Pole Position. Cabinets became elaborate, immersive. Discs of Tron, Star Wars, Dragon's Lair. The arcade was the cutting edge, a wonderland of innovation. Game designers were rock stars, their creations masterpieces. Each week brought new, mind-blowing machines. The rules were being rewritten, anything was possible. For kids, it was pure magic. It felt like the party would never end. But the party ended. Hard. In 1983, the video game industry crashed. The home console market was flooded with low-quality games, burning out consumers. Atari's E.T. game became infamous. So bad, unsold copies were buried in a desert. The crash hit arcades too. Oversaturation, lazy clones, and fading innovation. Arcades got a bad reputation, blamed for truancy and social ills. Some towns even tried to ban them. The wholesome image faded, replaced by moral panic. Quarters stopped flowing, arcades emptied, machines unplugged. The golden age was over, many arcades closed for good. It was a dark time, an industry on life support. For those who loved the arcade, it was heartbreaking. The era ended suddenly, brutally, and gaming would never be the same. Just when it seemed over, a hero emerged, Nintendo. In 1985, the NES revived the home video game market, carefully branded as an entertainment system. The NES delivered near-arcade experiences at home. Super Mario Bros. Was massive, complex, and endlessly replayable. Why spend quarters for minutes when you could play for hours at home? The arcade's value was fading, but it didn't die. Arcades fought back with something home consoles couldn't match: head-to-head competition. The late 80s and early 90s saw a second boom. Fighting games like Street Fighter II and Mortal Kombat drew huge crowds. These games were events with complex moves and fierce rivalries. The social competitive spirit returned. But soon these hits were ported to home consoles, and the gap closed. The home experience caught up. The arcade's reign as the pinnacle of gaming was ending, but its spirit lived on. For years, arcades seemed like fossils most closed, replaced by home consoles and online gaming. The magic felt gone, preserved only in memories and old videos, but nostalgia sparked a revival. Adults who grew up in arcades wanted to relive the experience. Barcades were born classic games with an adult twist, craft beer in hand. These became popular not just for gamers but for anyone seeking a unique night out. Retro arcades and gaming museums followed, preserving history and offering all-day play. These places are time machines. Old-timers relive their youth, new generations discover the classics. The social, communal spirit of the arcade returned. The magic was back, reimagined for a new era. Why do arcades still matter? In a world of photorealistic games at home, why do we care about clunky wooden boxes from decades ago? Because the arcade was never just about the games, it was about the experience. Emulators can't replicate the feel of the joystick, the clack of buttons, the glow of cabinet art. You miss the sounds of 50 games blending together, the crowd cheering you on. The arcade was a ritual, a destination, a place where memories and friendships were made. It was pure, focused gameplay, easy to learn, hard to master, designed to grab you in seconds. That design is timeless. The legacy lives on in every high score, every competitive match, every community-driven game. Barcades and retro arcades prove the magic endures. The arcade is more than history. It's the foundation of gaming culture. For those who were there, it will always be where the magic began.